非常好. What the? Why is he so deductive with it?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, John Cena's Chinese is actually fire.
Dude, it's really
good,
solid.
yeah.
It's really solid.
But people have been criticizing him for like pandering to Chinese media. I don't know how I feel about that.
Whatever gets him money, you know.
What has he played in a major role in like a Chinese film or something? Like why is he learning
like he
Chinese?
is.
Like what is like and he's learning the culture. Like he's learning like Lao Gan Ma and like Sibling, like
That's the culture right there.
that's the culture. I don't know.
That's like saying
He's
white
digging-
people culture is just
it's just-
hamburgers.
It is.
And Chinese culture is just Logama.
But it's kind of crazy that he's like gone through such lengths. Like what is he shooting for?
Maybe he
Well,
just
look this up now.
enjoys Chinese culture.
Yeah, honestly,
I mean,
respect
obviously
that.
they have a lot of
I don't know what the criticism
maybe they
is.
have a lot of interest in him, and therefore he feels the need to, like, reciprocate. I suppose, or like
why is
give the
Chinese?
Chinese fans a little
Ooh,
something, you know?
yeah, no, he's filming a movie with Jackie Chan.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
called
really?
Snafu.
have you guys seen the clip
It's
of
not
Michelle Yeoh saying how Jackie Chan is like incredibly
A misogynist?
misogynistic? Yeah, that blew my mind. I was like,
When he was young
no
too. Are
way.
you surprised
I
though?
know,
He's
I'm
from our
like-
parents'
No.
generation.
I know.
But I don't know.
He's
I
a
guess I was
Chinese
just a
man
little
from our parents'
I know.
generation.
I
disappointed.
wanted to not believe that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I
super
can.
unsurprising.
I love Michelle Yeoh now.
But who knows? Jackie Chan, that was a long time ago. Who knows?
Mm.
Jackie Chan might have changed his ways.
Completely
Maybe.
separate tangent. I feel
Who
like
knows?
Jackie Chan looks like her dad.
A
They
little
have the same
bit.
smile.
You know
a
what?
little bit.
when
they do.
when I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, our neighbor, who is white by the way, was like, "Your dad looks like Jackie Chan,"
And you're
I
like,
was like,
you're racist.
That's racist. But,
exactly.
but wait, he had a point.
But now that I look back at it,
They have a very similar smile. When they smile, I see the same person.
wait, we gotta like throw up 2 pictures.
I know.
Yeah, I'll throw
Yeah.
up the pictures. They do kind of look alike.
Yeah.
But none of us look anything like
Jackie
Chan.
Chan.
So
no, not at all.
the genes did not carry for us.
Unfortunately.
Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to the final episode of the Rooftop Pod in Colorado. Thank you guys for tuning in, checking in. Wait, what do I say again? I actually am not very good at this checking in thing. I always forget my line.
Signing in? No.
Welcome back to
Today
another.
yeah.
Welcome back to this episode of the Rooftop Pod. My name is. I'm your
And
host,
today I'm-
Jesse,
yeah.
and today I am here with my sister
It's
Rachel.
and my brother.
Andrew.
All right, and today we are going to be talking about our least favorite things about each other.
Oh boy.
Jesse, I already told you Andrew cannot handle
I know.
this.
I'm a very sensitive soul.
let's
We'll
just
keep it
skip
light.
Andrew.
We'll keep it light, just
no,
because.
he's not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I did lose sleep 2 nights ago. I talked to Rachel about this on the ski
Yeah.
lift, but I did a lot of soul searching and
And then Andrew
self-reflection.
said, we'll talk about it once we get down, and then we never
Wait,
talk.
what?
Oh
What
yeah,
did you guys
my
talk
fingers
about?
hurt so much.
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to unpack it now?
Was it something? Was it like
It's
about
personal.
your Colorado stuff?
Don't worry about it, Jesse.
No,
Oh,
we're
shit.
opening up right now.
Where did we get to in our conversation
You
about
said-
it? Oh, I
Andrew said,
You have to catch everyone
relationship
up,
is like-
including me.
Hold up.
no. Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
Should I start from the beginning? Okay,
Yeah.
so the reflection started when the camera's cut, and Jesse asked me. He was like, "Oh, why don't you talk more?" Right?
Okay.
And
Because you were saying you overthink or something.
yeah, I mean, partially it is because I work in corporate America, and I feel like I need to be a little bit careful about what I say.
But then Andrew said,
Sure.
that's a bull answer.
it's not bullshit answer. It's only
It's a
half.
surface level answer.
It's half the answer, where it is very much
it's
true.
just a cover up for
Rachel.
the real reason. I'm building suspense here.
Yeah, but I was like watching the dynamics of this pod roll out, especially like even starting in the first episode. I wasn't there. I wasn't physically present, right?
Right.
And I saw the banter between you and Jesse and Rachel,
Okay.
and it flows very organically. I am definitely like an awkward third party sitting in, or at least I feel that way sometimes. And I think it's mostly because
I don't think so. You can't. Everyone has to have their own
Yeah,
roles in a
right.
podcast. You can't just have everybody dominating the conversation. Like everyone
Yes.
can't be a dominant personality in a podcast.
And I mean,
True.
this happens in most social circles. I usually take
Sure.
a step back.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Andrew's a professional third wheeler.
oh yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
do love the
true.
third wheel.
Yeah.
My favorite couples. There's a lot of good ones out there. Anyways, because I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I see you and Rachel's relationship, you Jesse, sorry, I keep on saying to you and I'm not pointing at anybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys are very similar in your hobbies, in your interests, in like style, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah. But so when I like joined the conversation, that is like one of the reasons why I don't talk as much. But you're right. Like everyone needs their own voice. Like, why can't I contribute more? And I think 2 nights ago, the pod started a little bit rough for me, where you guys, damn, are we gonna get really deep already?
Yeah.
Damn, okay, we're
That
gonna
was
get
fun.
right into it. No. I mean, we're gonna keep on unpacking this because
Sure.
we went layers deep.
Yeah.
Right. So if we roll back the clip to the pod, because we recorded this one,
said, "Roll the
Rachel,
Put the
Jesse. Again, I
Which one
recognize
was
that this is all like facetious and joking, and like none of this is serious. But you're like, oh, like Andrew doesn't like to have fun, which is why I didn't go
Oh,
skiing, which is
dear Lord.
again fine. Like, right?
You took that personally.
No, not that part.
This is why
okay.
we can't talk about
No,
what
no,
we
no.
don't like
The-
about each other.
Andrew's
it
too
just
soft.
compounds, right? And then Rachel was like, oh, like Rachel, you were like, I can't remember exactly the order of how this happened, but
My Colorado
yeah,
journey.
Rachel, you brought
Yeah.
back the Colorado journey, and he was like, oh, all Andrew does is complain when he goes out. And then Jesse, you kept on going. You're like, yeah, Andrew's actually a homebody, and it pisses me off. I'm just like, damn. And so for that podcast, that's why I
Oh,
took
now
a
I
step
feel
back,
bad.
right? Because
Yeah, me
and
too.
I was unpacking
Be on
this on the ski
lift.
lift, right? And I told Rachel this. I'm like, I feel like sometimes certain aspects of who I am annoys your existence, especially Rachel. over
Well,
this.
no, it goes both ways because
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
our
Both ways,
our
yeah.
like
yeah, exactly.
our fight in Colorado
Oh,
was
yeah.
because I thought that my existence
Yeah, exactly.
like annoyed
yeah,
you.
yeah. It
But
was bad
that's-
communication.
That's the essence
Yeah.
of sibling relationships. Though.
Yeah.
Like we all annoy each other, but despite how much we annoy each other, we're still like
No, we're still close.
we're still besties.
We're still
besties.
homies.
Homies.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm definitely.
oh, I was fixing the mic.
But yeah, dap it up.
Man.
Okay.
I mean, the thing I wanted to talk to you after we got down the ski lift, but my fingers were in so much pain I couldn't say anything because it was so
Yeah.
cold outside. I was equating our relationship, like Rachel and I's relationship, with actually Rachel and Dad's relationship, because
Interesting.
and this is the part I didn't get to with Rachel. So this is new news for Rachel too.
Okay.
After Rachel stayed with me in Colorado for 12 weeks. It
Yep.
started off great. We got into a little kerfuffle and we fought and we made up, and then it ended up good.
Mhm.
Okay.
It
I
was
But
heard
the-
there was a lot of crying.
it was
Oh yeah.
just
Yeah.
one day of crying, but we made up.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. That was like a tough weekend for
Yeah.
me.
Hey, it was crying on
As
both
soon-
ends.
No, as soon as I got off the plane from New York
Oh,
to
yeah.
Denver, it was just
Rachel just started crying. I had no idea what was going on because I picked her up. And Rachel was like, I asked her how her trip went, and she was like, oh, it was really good. And then I'm just driving, listening to music, and then I suddenly hear sniffling. I'm like, what the hell?
But what did that have to do with you, Andrew?
It.
Oh, are we
Rachel,
getting
you-
into this?
Nah. I just go big picture.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, like, we were, like Rachel saying, annoying each other and just build up intention and, like, bad
Mhm.
vibes. And then we
Mhm.
let it all out. We cried. We made up. And yeah, no, it was a good trip. But
Yeah.
after the trip, once Rachel left,
Mhm.
I was chatting with Dad. And we were so confused sometimes. We were talking about Rachel. I'm sorry. But we were like,
No, yeah,
why is Rachel always mad at us?
Rachel's always mad at everyone, but she's not mad at me. Rachel is
exactly.
rarely
Rachel's
ever mad
never-
at me, but she's
Not the
always mad at
same
Mom,
way.
always mad at you, always mad at John,
Dad.
Philip, and Dad.
Yes. And so
I've noticed that.
But the thing is, like, okay, there's gonna be a couple weird jumps in logic here, so
Okay.
bear with me. But I realize, like, me and Dad, I think, are really similar, where we derive a lot of happiness from making other people happy. And this is what I saw in my relationship with you and Dad's relationship with you. Because during the last week of our trip, we hiked the 14er. Rachel convinced me to do that, even though I didn't want to. But I had a great time on the trip. And I
I
realized,
had a
like,
good time too.
yeah. And to be completely honest, I did not enjoy hiking the 14er at all. Like, that shit sucked ass. But I was really happy at how happy Rachel was being out in the mountains. And I think Dad is the same way, where Dad will drive like 4, 6, 10 hours to send Rachel to Mount
Multiple
Trailways.
days.
Because not because he wants to do
days.
this, because I think he also really enjoys making Rachel happy. But
Oh no.
Rachel, how do you feel about all
but
this?
anyway,
I'm
that's
just
the-
gonna sleep out in the cold today. I don't deserve any of this.
Dang. But the thing is, like,
eat out the window.
Andrew was still like, well, dad doesn't complain about like taking you places and like helping you out with that. But
going back
Andrew
to the
will.
complaining. I complained on that hike because I fell and I like scraped up my arms and leg, and I was complaining about that.
That's on
No,
you,
but
Andrew.
even before that, I could tell
Okay.
that you didn't want
Yes,
to go.
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
And so, like, you could have just told me, like, straight
Yeah.
up, no, go by
I probably
yourself.
should have
And I
done
think
that.
that probably
Yeah.
would have pushed me, like, made me grow more as a person.
yeah,
than,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it was
dragging
the
you along
lack of
too.
communication
yeah.
during the beginning of our Colorado trip.
And
Mm.
okay, on the point that everyone makes me mad, I think I think
We unpacking a lot.
our family isn't great at communicating. Also, as a middle child, I hate attention. So like whenever anyone asks me questions, I'm like, why are you talking to me?
But you lose it so quick. Like if mom just talks to you or like dad just mentions your name or asks you a question, you just lose it.
No, because it's not like I think currently I don't think I'm usually like that. I think just at the end of this trip, like my social battery is so drained. Like I have nothing left in me to like, because I haven't had like a single moment to myself on this trip, and I really, really value my alone time. And so like when I
Okay.
don't get that time to recharge,
That's
I've
what
never
we
seen
realized.
you
We lived
re-
in
I
a
lose it.
studio together.
I've never seen
Yeah.
Rachel recharge though. Yeah, I feel
Well-
like she's always just
well, also
You
at
do overcommit a
home,
little bit.
no, also at home it's just like always around family. Whereas in college, like my recharging time is like me just doing my own work by myself.
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I
I'm
mean,
just
so
saying.
like-
I'm just saying. Like you get annoyed very quickly by
But
family.
I
yes,
think
it's only our
it's
family.
also a
yeah.
mismatch in expectation where like one of my struggles in college is already that I don't feel cared for, or like that I am always caring for other people, and then so when I get home, like I expect not to have that responsibility of like,
Yeah, but who are you caring for at home?
or it's just like I don't know, sometimes mom and dad can be a little clueless and it's like
That's true.
the burden on me to like plan things and make sure that certain things are taken care of that like I don't expect to do. And so I'm just like, oh, I think a lot of it is, obviously my fault, and like I need to change my own mindset and like not
Yeah,
have
set
that
proper
expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, for mom and dad. That's just what I do. And nowadays, like when something that mom and dad does like annoys me, I'll just be like, it's mom and dad. Like it's fine. They've done enough for us where they can do a little small thing that annoys me, and I should just let it go.
Yeah,
like
honestly.
it's all about just like controlling your feelings, like recognizing your feelings, and then recognizing that getting frustrated isn't going to help,
Right.
and perseverating on that frustration isn't going to help you, and just letting that frustration go. Like don't let
Okay,
that
but
frustration stay.
that frustration, it's like I get it out in the moment and then it's like nothing else, because then I'm bottling up my own frustrations, and that's like also another problem in itself. Also
no,
another
bottling up is
thing-
different though.
I think you can release it out a
No,
little kinder to mom and dad.
Yeah, you can
I'm-
definitely be nicer to mom. and
Okay.
dad. That's probably my least favorite thing about you.
I know. Okay, that's also my least favorite thing about me too.
You're not very nice to mom and dad.
I know. It's just
not-
that I'm so
You get
it's also
frustrated by them too
sometimes
easily.
they just don't connect the dots. Like that just it grinds my gears. It's like they ask again, this is like the attention thing again, where like I don't like being asked so many questions all the time, and like sometimes I like ask for something and then they like ask me like 7 different follow-up questions, and I'm like, you didn't need to ask that, just like think about it for a little bit and then you'll understand.
Or just answer them. Like it's not
But
gonna
it's
like.
like so much I don't know, it's just like more again, introvert, mismatch in expectations, social battery right now, this current moment, these past 2 days, awful. It's been so bad for me.
It's crazy because I feel like my social battery doesn't drain when I'm around or at home.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel
like
really
I'm
relaxed at home nowadays.
I'm very
I don't know why.
extroverted within the home environment. The introvert extrovert thing is really interesting because I am different. I'm an introvert in some contexts and I'm an extrovert in other contexts.
you
I
know
think
what
at
your
home I'm
Myers-Briggs
very
is?
much an extrovert. My Myers-Briggs everything I'm like just borderline everything.
Oh,
so I don't
okay.
really I'm an
Okay.
advocate, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Based on the quiz I'm an introvert, but I'm like borderline introvert extrovert because around certain friends, I have certain friends that are super socially draining. Like, do you have people that
Oh, yeah.
in your
Yeah,
life
yeah.
that like
That's
if
like
you
most
hang out with
people
them,
to me.
you just feel completely drained after hanging out with them.
Yeah.
You have a good time, but
Yeah,
you
you have
just
a good
feel
time.
tired, yeah.
But you can only handle them in doses.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people that I can just kick it back and chill with like forever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I value both types of friends, but again, with the certain friends that are super draining on my social battery, like I can only handle them in doses. Yeah. But at home, I feel like interacting with our family members, I don't really get drained at all, which I guess is different for you because you feel drained after. Yeah, it's really weird because you come home from college and you don't get rest. Like you don't recharge your social battery. You actually drain it further at home.
No, I think it's just on family vacations because at home I have like my own room that I can go to, and then like there's not as many people. I think especially on this family vacation, there's just been a lot going on all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'm making you guys do this podcast like twice a day. So
Yeah.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you guys have any least favorite things about me? Lay it on. I'm ready. Just
Wow.
lay it on.
Okay.
I think I kind of know exactly what they are, but
Interesting.
I would like to see what I can do to improve.
This is a good way of framing it. Well, actually,
You don't have to
I do have to
sugarcoat
give
it.
props to you, Jesse. I think you've changed a lot as an older brother
Okay.
through the
Mm-hmm.
ages because, I mean, growing up with you, Rachel apologized for being mean, but
Oh
Rachel,
yeah, I'm just a mean person.
for some reason, when you're mean, I'm just like, it's okay. Like Rachel is just frustrated. I know she's not actually mad at me usually. Yeah, Jesse, you were mean. Like as a
This is true. I called you
As a
asshole
kid,
brother
like,
in
for a
high
reason.
school?
I
Yeah.
can't remember any specific reasons, but you just felt cold.
Very
As a
distant.
brother.
Yeah.
But in recent years, you've warmed up a lot. Like you,
Sure.
but
yeah.
that still comes out every once in a while, where you're sometimes a little dismissive.
Dismissive.
Feel a little.
I feel like I'm talking to
even-
my ex right now.
Again, like,
Just kidding.
jeez.
No,
Maybe you
continue,
are
please.
the problem.
But like sometimes,
Continue.
it's just like small things. Like sometimes I'll say something and you'll immediately just rebuttal it, and I feel like you don't take in consideration like what I'm saying. But again, like,
This is exactly the type of conversation.
oh shoot,
But
I was
maybe
gonna
it is a
say.
recurring theme.
No.
But again, like,
So yeah, I think that's a common critique of me. Well, from basically just two people. But
But again, like progress.
yeah, so I guess when I listen, because I'm so prone to arguing back or like
Yep.
trying to defend who I am in certain situations, it doesn't allow me to have space to kind of digest what other people are trying to say to me. And now that I didn't realize I did that in our relationship.
Just sometimes.
It'd be, yeah, I don't really know. When have you criticized me or like?
Well, I mean, just like very, very, nothing serious, obviously. But okay, take for example yesterday's pod, because this is the only thing I remember.
Sure.
And this one's
Yeah.
not really even that big of an issue.
Yeah,
But like I was
doesn't
talking my insecurities, and even just going back to me talking about my experience sophomore year, about like you calling out how tight my pants were and how that made me insecure. And like the first thing you said is like, I never, like, I don't remember that, right? And like the first thing
I did say
that
it
because I- say that.
exactly,
I didn't remember.
exactly, like because honestly,
but
you
I see what you're
definitely
saying.
does. If you don't remember, then obviously you don't remember. But
Right.
like the first thing is like, it almost feels like you're brushing it off as like it's invalid or
No,
like
I see what you're saying.
right.
Mhm.
But again, like I know you saying that is not to be that. It's just because
Yeah.
you legitimately do not remember. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But even though my intentions, and
Right.
this is like, I think something I'm still learning, but intention versus effect is very different. Like
yeah.
certainly I have this intention that's like not trying to like harm you or like to invalidate what you're
Right.
saying, but the effect of it, and this is what I'm trying to learn, is that the effect of sometimes what I say doesn't match up with my intention, and
Right.
I have to recognize that and be able to address that.
But I think going back to me and the other person who gave you this critique, I recognize that you have my best intentions in mind, and that I legitimately think you're a good person. So I take whatever you say, like, and I know you're not trying to be malicious. I know you're trying not to be dismissive or anything. So I know you're a good person, and that honestly is probably why we still maintain such a close relationship. Yeah,
Damn.
that's about it.
Sorry about that. I feel
That's
bad.
okay.
Yeah, I like, even in that example, I didn't realize that what I had said was invalidating. I didn't realize that I was dismissing what you, and even though it's a small case,
Right.
I understand that. Like now I'm looking back at it, I'm like, oh, like Andrew was telling you something that you had said that made him feel a little bit insecure. And like the first thing I did was like, oh, like I didn't say that, or I don't remember saying that. And I guess what I could have done was be like, oh yeah, like I could see myself saying that. And I don't, so
that's the thing. I was
like,
thinking about that too. I'm
what
like,
do
if
I
you
say?
don't remember that, then you legitimately don't remember that. So
or maybe I just don't say anything, just like
Yeah.
be like,
figure it out. Yeah.
hear it out or apologize.
Yeah. I don't really know. Like,
Yeah.
I the reason why I didn't push back or anything is because I recognize that for you saying that, like, I don't remember something I said 4 years ago, but
because
the
to me it
difference
was
is,
like,
it was
It's
a
just
light
like-
comment,
Yeah,
right?
light
But to
comment,
me,
yeah.
like, it made me feel insecure in the moment, which is why I remember it.
right,
So
right.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit different.
So in that case, and I've had this conversation
What do you
also
do?
with my ex,
Yeah.
it's like, do I go back and explain what my intentions were in that moment and be like, hey, all I was saying is that, like, to me in that case, I was like, oh, Andrew has like really big thighs. And that's something I admire. It's not like something that
Right.
I necessarily think is like, I wasn't trying to tease you or anything. I was
Yeah.
just like, dang, like he's got a thick posterior chain. Like, what am I wish I had that. But also I was probably also
Right.
teasing you because your pants were tight. But
yeah.
like,
And
it wasn't,
healthy
it
amount of
definitely, but
bullying
my
is needed
intention,
sometimes.
like, again, maybe this is me doing the same thing again, but like my intention wasn't like to
Right.
make you feel insecure. For sure it wasn't that.
And I think that's why, like, between our relationship, me understanding that, we don't need to address that. Like, me bringing up this topic is only because I needed to think of an example, and this was the only thing I could think of.
No.
But
it makes the
for our
yeah.
relationship, like, we don't need to talk about it. I already understand you. Like, I know you're not being
Yeah.
dismissive.
But it's a good thing to know for myself in
yes.
future relationships
Yeah.
because not everybody understands who I
Right,
am.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And like people will make assumptions
Right.
based on like what I do. And I think having that self-awareness for myself will be good for the future in my future relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Thanks for
Oh, of
bringing
course.
that up.
Those are good comments.
Yeah.
Oh.
I agree.
Are
Do
you
have
gonna say what you
s-
don't like about me?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, I guess
still
we
going with
kind of
Jesse.
already did. but you can, yeah, if you have something to say about me.
Oh, I just remember after our
Mm.
Colorado trip, me and
Mm.
Andrew were talking about Jesse. I can't remember what it was. It was something about Jesse as a child.
As a child or I am a child?
You are a child.
I mean,
In what way?
again, I say that jokingly. Sometimes, well, this is not something I don't like about you, something I admire about you because I think I'm growing out of this, but I've traditionally been very frugal minded. And I think, Jesse, you like to enjoy and just spend your money. This is when I said, I don't know if that's the same conversation we
I
had,
don't
but
think-
when I
yeah.
think
Relative.
it's something
It's
different.
relative to you, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like
Um,
relative to some other people, I'm still
Yes,
technically
that's
Yeah.
true.
very
That's
frugal.
true.
Because you don't spend at all.
relative.
Yeah.
It's changed a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You're getting better.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
I
mindset I'm trying to
I,
change.
I think our least favorite things about each other kind of play off each other.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for me, I feel like you don't do enough to
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
And you think that I do too much to have fun.
Well, like
For
I
my-
said,
my
I admire
philosophy-
that, which is
Oh,
why
okay,
I'm trying to move
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah, my philosophy is like during your 20s, that is when you can maximize the amount of fun that you have. Like once you're 30s and 40s, like that's when you're settled down, you're older, like you can't have as much like doing physical activities like skiing and stuff. Like your body is way more at risk of more serious injuries when you're older.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're younger, you can recover from injuries, like you can take more risks doing more physical activities. So like I want to take advantage of those experiences while my body can handle them
I didn't even think about
instead of like I don't know, like I have the opportunities, I have the means to do so, like why
Right.
would I not do it right now? Yeah.
That's fair.
But it's about balancing because obviously you need to invest in your career, you need to save for your future.
Yep.
But I guess I just trust in future Jesse too much
Yeah.
to be fine. But I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't
I'm so
spend
scared about future
irresponsibly.
Andrew.
Huh?
I'm scared about future Andrew. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to set him up.
Yeah. I mean, I have a life plan of where I'm going to be at literally every year of my
Yeah.
life. And I,
I mean,
know
yeah.
how much I'm making at each
Yeah.
stage.
You have a very definitive
Yeah.
path laid out for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
With medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think like Xiaoyi was saying about this concept of like knowing how to play or like 知道怎么玩 in
Mhm.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm good at that whereas you're not good at
Wow.
that.
Yeah. My old roommate would say the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Andrew 不知道怎么玩.
Well, no, he's just like you have to relax more. And granted, I was in my consulting days back then, so
Oh,
I
you were
was
on that
really
grind.
stressed,
Yeah.
like, to
Yeah.
the wire during the time. So, but I mean, even in college, I was not great. Like,
But it's good that you're recognizing that.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
like I think I not to the level of Rachel, but I definitely just tried to fill up my schedule with like as much productivity as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
But I do the same thing, but like I block off time. So like this year was
that's
an
what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
this year was kind of an exception where I blocked off a lot of time to like visit friends and travel just because I mentally needed that this
Yeah.
year. But in general, like it's like the concept of work hard, play hard, right?
Mhm.
Like I scheduled a super packed week where I do a ton of things during the week, but on the weekends, like, or like from like Friday to Monday, I'll plan like a trip or something and I'll just like forget about any work that I have to do and just like play hard, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for me it's like Friday after my last commitment until Sunday morning is my brain off time.
Yeah. Like you need to have these scheduled brain off times where you can fully enjoy whatever fun non-work activities that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm
I
working
just
on that.
Yeah, I
completely
feel like you
forget
don't
about
do that.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to work on that one.
Yeah. But I understand, like, I'm in a phase of my life where I can afford to do that. But, like, there are definitely phases in the future for me where, like, I do have to keep work on the forefront of my mind. Or, like, I guess for me, school. But med school work is kind of blurred. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what I think we kind of went through everybody at this point because we kind of talked
pretty
about
much.
Rachel being mean.
I'm working on I swear. Okay, I think this might be manipulative.
But I did start looking to therapy now that Disney is going to pay for some of it, I think.
Oh, hell yeah.
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 I need to look into that. Dude, Disney owns so many things.
Yeah, that's
you don't
true.
realize how much
Dude, when
of
I
America these big corporations
Yeah.
own. Like America's really owned by like 3 large corporations. Any case, what were we just talking about?
I was saying, this might be a
yeah.
little manipulative of me, but I know that like mom and dad will love me no matter what. So because it's like,
I mean, it's true.
I don't know. I guess I don't take out my stress on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so when I come home and like all this stress from school has built up, like generally mom and dad will see the worst side of me because there's nowhere else that I can really release it in like a safe environment, knowing that they'll love me unconditionally,
that's
which is
unconditional
what
love
I
right there.
love about mom and dad, which is why I should be listening to them. But
It was really fun. I think me and you had like a tense time in Colorado, like one certain night, and then I saw you hop on a call for something, and the tonality shift was so drastic. I'm like, whoa.
I feel like there's been a lot of skits made of that, of like moms beating their kids, and then as soon as they get a call, they're like,
hello.
Oh, hello.
oh yeah.
But that's true. Like we can show each other any side of us, like all of us. And we know that, to Rachel's point, like, yeah, we will still love each other no matter what.
And it's also like, we also know that we have each other's best interest in mind as well.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder, is there anything that either of us can do to each other that would end our like friendships? Like, is there anything that we can do that is an unforgivable act?
Ooh.
I don't see us doing anything like this,
Yeah.
but is there anything that like crosses that line?
Yeah. I mean, outside of like committing a felony, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I'd want to know why.
Why?
Yeah.
And then like,
Yeah.
Right. But even things like
what if I went behind your back, like emptied your entire bank account and
I
like
was thinking finances,
and, like-
not that, but
like say like, you know how we invested in a
right,
house?
that's exactly what I was
So
thinking.
what if I like found this investment opportunity? Because money can always like,
Right.
I've seen in other cases, money can like tear families apart.
Mm-hmm.
What if I took your money, invested it in something, and like the value of that something went to zero? So basically lost all your money.
Yeah.
Say I literally told you to go all in, put your entire bank account in it. Like my
Yeah.
conviction was that high.
See, the thing is, I wouldn't do that because I'm very risk adverse. But if you like sold the property that we went in on, rolled it into something else, and that went to zero, I mean, yeah, I would. I don't think that would end it. I'd be like, Jesse, you're a dumbass. But no, we'd still be friends. Like,
But that would change the relationship, right?
yeah, I wouldn't give you any money.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know. That's another thing I like a lot about our family when it comes to financials. Like all family money is just everyone's
Shared
money,
money, yeah.
and that's how we see.
I mean,
our
we definitely
finances.
still have our
Yeah, separate
boundaries. Like,
bank
I'm not going
accounts.
to ask mom and dad for like
right,
money
right.
to pay for my day to day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
but between
I'm trying
like,
to be
I'm talking about
independent.
between us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost too fluid, only in one direction. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know you're.
You're a student. One day when you
Yeah,
become a world
exactly.
famous
Once-
civil
Once
engineer,
I start making bank, it'll start playing.
yeah, you owe us $500 million.
It'll come.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
But okay, here's another scenario.
Mhm.
What if like mom and dad pass away and they like assign like an equal distribution of all the money, but then I took all of it and invested it in something and lost all the money?
I think it's fine. Mom and dad don't have that much to give us. Hey, is that too hard?
Damn.
Well, you divvy up their wealth between 5 kids.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that much.
that's
But what if I just lost all of it? I think the only thing that would
big
for me-
disrespect to mom and dad.
Yeah.
yeah
Or like to one of the siblings.
yeah, like if you show outright disrespect to like
Mhm.
one of us or like to
Yeah.
mom and dad. I think that would be towing the line.
Yeah.
At least we would definitely sit you down and be like, hey, that
Yeah.
was dumb. Like, you shouldn't do that
Mhm.
kind of thing. But I definitely try to reconcile that because,
Right. But the thing is, like, it's hard to do these hypotheticals because I know that you guys are logical people, and so if you
Mhm.
They
do
wouldn't
this,
do
you
anything.
had to have a good reason to
Good.
do whatever you
Mhm.
did, and so that's why it's
damn,
tough.
we're just too reasonable.
Exactly.
You can't stir up any drama.
No one's a wild. Yeah.
Yeah. There's always some rationale behind what we do.
Yeah. And we're always able to talk through things
Mhm.
and we're pretty good at understanding each other
Yeah.
Mm.
and like why we do certain things.
We lived in a very
Yeah.
small, or not small house.
Yeah,
but
I
we
guess
lived
that's a
in close
product of being
proximity. Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah, we
You just know each
too
other
well.
really well. All right. Well, I guess this conversation would be more interesting between friends.
Yeah, or these
Like,
hypotheticals.
because
Yeah.
there are friendship
Right,
breakups.
right.
I've never been through those,
Mm.
but like I know people who have gone through friendship breakups,
Right.
which is a wild idea to me.
I know.
right?
Okay. There's one. It wasn't with me.
Mm.
It was more of someone exiting a friend group, because of a broken relationship with like 2 other people in the friend
Mm.
group.
Okay.
But there were good reasons for the 2 people still in the friend group to like.
Not be
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes things happen. It's
Yeah.
a lot of like boundary crossings
Yeah.
that happen.
But I think that's how I don't know if you're the same way, or I don't know if you've had a friendship breakup, but I think the reason why I haven't had a friendship breakup, I don't
haven't
know if
had
this
one
is the
either.
reason why,
Yeah.
right? It's because I approach friendships pretty cautiously,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And
I think I approach any kind of relationship pretty
Yeah.
cautiously.
Like, you're not considered a good friend to me until
Mm.
we've built enough shared
Mhm.
experiences, or I know
Mhm.
you enough to consider you a really good friend.
Mhm.
And so if somebody I'm like just starting to become friends with like stabs me behind the back or does something
Mm.
shady, right?
Mhm.
You weren't really that
Right,
close with
exactly.
him
Yeah.
anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
losing that much.
Right.
Yeah. I
And-
guess what I'm trying to say is like besties breaking
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Mm.
Thankfully, that
I've
hasn't
never
happened,
done that.
but-
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are like it's like mismatched expectations.
Mhm.
I don't really want to out right now, but I have
Ooh.
2 friends. I'm gonna bleep their names out,
Yeah.
and who like over the summer almost had a friendship breakup. They were best friends,
Interesting.
and we've
Wow.
been best friends for a super long time.
Yeah.
Luckily, they made up,
Oh.
and they're again super close. So I can see how that happens.
Mm.
But like for us, I guess our expectations, like we know our expectations
Yeah.
for each other.
Mhm.
Where I don't see us ever having that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think going to Colorado was
Mm.
when I had my expectations for Andrew reset,
Yeah.
and like when we reconciled our differences.
see.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, and this goes for all relationships. It's
Yeah.
like if you have the right expectations for each other or have the ability to like be flexible with your expectations,
Mhm.
you can solve like any problem,
Yeah.
I think. Like any relationship problems can
Yeah.
be solved.
It
Yeah.
really
basically.
is just all expectation
setting
setting.
expectations.
Dang.
Mhm.
That's the key to life. I've been saying for a long time.
Yeah.
Set them low.
Yeah. always set them
Always
low.
set them
And then when people go above and beyond, you're like, wow, this
Oh my
this
God.
person's awesome. But when they go like at expectation level, you're just unbothered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, I don't think he listens to this, but when I went to visit, she was like I know it's like more on like the selfish. Anyways,
Bleep, bleep, bleep,
yeah,
bleep.
yeah. She's more on the selfish side. I'm just telling you guys this.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, when I go there, I probably have to like take care of myself and like
Mm.
I just like
Oh,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
expect her to be a
Exactly.
good
Yeah, yeah.
host.
Right. Right.
Because I've never been hosted by her, so I'm
Right.
like, it's whatever. But then when I went to visit her, like she was an amazing host. Like threw an amazing
Mm.
pregame, had like
Aw.
clean linens, sheets, like bought me new like everything for
Wow.
like, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like this is like an amazing host, and I
Yeah.
had the time of my life there.
Aw.
And like that was for me like.
Wow. Yeah.
I know in these regards I have a certain expectation for her, but like she like blew me away. I was just like, this is amazing. I'm coming back to visit you sometimes
Mm.
because like I mean, in other cases, obviously, it's like has a very high bar of expectation,
Mm.
like for being there for me and like
Mm.
being like a best friend who has my back. Like that expectation's set really high for her, just
Mhm.
because we've been friends for like almost a decade now, which is crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Dang,
yeah.
you're so
Wow.
old.
Oh my goodness.
What
yeah.
the hell?
Whoa.
It's crazy,
Ugh.
man.
College friends.
My
for
college
me are
friends
about
are-
to be a decade.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I'm
Not
about to
quite,
have
not
my.
quite.
I'm gonna have my 5-year reunion next year.
That's
and if
crazy.
you became friends freshman year, that's 4 years plus 5 years. That's 9
that's
years.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are growing
Sucks
old.
to think about, but
Hey, no, but it's
it's
a
the
beautiful
reality.
thing.
Yeah.
Growing
Yeah,
old
no.
is nice.
Honestly, growing old and like seeing your relationships that hold up through time
Yeah.
Mm.
is really gratifying.
Yeah,
Mhm,
like the
mhm.
relationships that sustain past COVID
Mm-hmm.
are my favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Very grateful for those relationships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts about anything that we've talked about?
I was gonna say, what was the original question? But
The original question was,
What do we not like about
oh,
each other?
Oh,
what we
yeah,
not-
yeah.
but I think we did a good job
hey, no, I like
unpacking a little bit of
Yeah.
that. I like this episode. This was,
that. That was good.
yeah, a lot of
I feel
good
bad.
self-reflection.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I'm
it's
gonna
good
go
for
home and I'm gonna be a
self-reflection.
changed person.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Oh.
No, change. In order to achieve change, you need to take small steps
Yeah.
consistently. You can't flip a switch; it's unsustainable.
It's like working out,
Yeah,
man.
it's just
Habit
like
stacking,
working out. Yep.
healthy lifestyle.
The
That's
thing is, like,
life in general.
Yeah.
I do have good moments, though.
Yes.
We all do.
Yes.
What do you mean?
I agree.
I'm gonna die.
No, you're not bad.
Yeah, so it's getting late, and we have to
No, we have to pack.
catch an early flight tomorrow. So, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Rooftop Pod. I hope you guys enjoyed our discussion, and maybe you guys related to our sibling dynamics and what we don't like about each other. But yeah, tune in next time to another episode of the Rooftop Pod. I'm your host, Jesse, signing out, and signing out with me is my sister
Rachel.
and my brother,
Andrew.
and we will catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.